Title: Emergency Manual for Faking That You Know How to Dance. Madison Carter was never good at parties, nor at socializing, nor at moving gracefully in public spaces. Hers was precision eye on, the numbers, the quality reports, and making sure that no frozen lasagna left the production line mislabeled. She had been working as a quality control inspector for 4 years. He worked at a frozen food factory on the outskirts of Chicago, and the most exciting thing that had happened lately was discovering that the new chicken croquettes came in the shape of dinosaurs. Until the announcement arrived. "I'm getting married," shouted her sister Emily via video call, shaking the screen as if it were a human maraca. "Again?" responded Madison, taking her sugar-free coffee. "Madison, it's only the second." "Yes, only." Emily, the extroverted one, the queen of parties, the makeup tips influencer, was marrying a professional salsa dancer. And as she couldn't, otherwise, the wedding would be themed an event full of dancing, live music, and a dance floor that would occupy half of the reception. All the guests will dance something. There is welcome choreography. "Wow, a couples competition, and even some free time to show off," announced Emily, proudly. Madison felt her toast stick in her throat. Show off? Like dancing alone in front of everyone? Exacto. You can't arrive without a partner, and everyone knows you're dating someone. What? Well, you said that at the last family dinner to prevent Mom from setting you up on another date with the son of the China, and you posted it. You said you were learning salsa with your boyfriend? Remember? Madison closed her eyes. Damn digital sarcasm. She never thought her ironic posts about a boyfriend ficticio would reach so far. Now I needed a couple. To know how to dance salsa. To avoid dying of shame in the attempt. At work, everything remained the same until the packaging machine failed. "Who programmed her to wrap 5 croquettes instead of 6? Shouted Madison. From the other side of the hallway, someone raised their hand. Ryan Blake, maintenance technician, expert in solving problems with a wrench, a crooked smile, and zero respect for lunch rules. "It was my mistake," said Ryan, approaching. But in my defense, they were croquettes that seemed to have a soul. Madison sighed. She knew Ryan well. Always joking, music in his headphones, and an inexplicable way of seeming charming, even covered in tomato sauce. What she didn't know was that I had accidentally overheard their conversation, and that he was about to offer him something that would change his life. "I heard you need to learn to dance salsa," he said, leaning on the machine with an air casual. "Why? Pretend that you have a boyfriend." She looked at him with a mixture of panic and distrust. "And what do you know about that?" Ryan smiled, took out an earphone, and put a song on his cell phone. Then, he gave a perfect turn, marked a cross-step with rhythm, and stopped with a bow. "Because before fixing machines, I danced in the streets of Miami." Emergency manual for pretending that, do you know how to dance? Madison stared at Ryan as if he had just come out of a Latin telenovela. "Do you dance salsa?" she asked, as if she were offering him brain surgery. "I danced in a C-urban dance company in Miami. Until I broke my ankle in a competition and hung up my shoes. Until now." He smiled. "But I still have my steps. And if you need quick classes and someone who doesn't, he would laugh when you trip over your own feet. I am your man." "And what do you gain from this?" Madison asked, arms crossed. "Fun. Revenge against weddings. And perhaps a good buffet," he joked. After thinking about it and Googling intensive salsa classes in 3 weeks, Madison accepted. They agreed to practice in the back warehouse after work, where the forklift slept. NY80 Padilla Verlos. The first class was a disaster with bachata sound. "That's not salsa," said Ryan. "But it's on the playlist I downloaded," replied Madison. "That explains your crab steps." I'm nervous. Ryan laughed. Then he approached, gently took her hands and spoke to her as if it were a recipe. "Look, it's not about steps. It's about connection. Feeling the rhythm, listening R with the feet. And let someone guide you. What if I don't want anyone to guide me?" "Then you're in trouble, Carter." Day after day, Ryan trained her. They used buckets as track cones, tags of products like markers, and songs from Celia Cruz to Mark Anthony. Madison stumbled, sweated, laughed, and began to enjoy it. One afternoon, after a particularly good turn, Ryan didn't immediately let go of her hand. "You know, if I didn't know we were pretending, I'd swear we were a good couple." Madison looked at him. His eyes were too close. His lips, too. And the he zone gave it a Cuban wheel-style turn. "We're only rehearsing," she murmured. "Of course," he replied, without moving. That night, Madison dreamed that they danced under a rain of lights, and there was no music. Solo laughs. The next day, Ryan brought him coffee with a note. "Today, it's your turn to guide. But without stepping on me, please." The practices became longer. The excuses to see each other outside of work, most common. Madison began to see Ryan not as the workshop joker, but as someone with whom she didn't have to pretend anything. Until the formal wedding invitation arrived. "Are you ready for the grand show?" said Ryan, raising his eyebrow. "Only if you are ready to pretend to be my boyfriend in front of my entire dysfunctional family. With pleasure." "But what if we do it well? What if we pretend so well that even you believe it?" The wedding day arrived with a sun that seemed sponsored by Hollywood. Madison was adjusting her dress in front of the mirror when Ryan appeared at the door of the event hall, with a navy blue suit and a smile worth more than all the catering. "Wow," he said, "without sarcasm or jokes, you're going to overshadow the bride." Madison rolled her eyes, but blushed. The hall is... It was decorated with artificial flowers, golden lights, and a band that seemed to be from a low-budget movie. But Madison didn't care, because when Ryan offered her his hand on the dance floor of dancing, everything else disappeared. The music started, and then, bam, a perfect turn. A double turn, a slow motion but planned fall. The hall applauded, astonished. His cousin canned. She choked on a canapé. "I didn't know you danced like that," shouted her aunt. "Neither did I," Madison replied, breathless. The plan had worked. Nobody pitied her. Nobody called her the one who was. Attacked by the dentist. After the show, they escaped to the garden. The hanging lights trembled in the breeze. "And now what?" asked Ryan, his heart still pounding. Madison looked at him. She could no longer distinguish if they were still pretending. "Would you like to stop acting?" she asked. He approached. "A lot, more than ever. Only if you promise me that this doesn't end with the last song." And then, they kissed, nothing practiced, nothing rehearsed, just a real kiss, clumsy, sweet, perfect. Madison sighed against his lips. Who needs a dentist when you can have a mechanic who be la salsa? "And he makes his own coffee," added Ryan. Both laughed. In the background, the music continued. But for them, the only thing that sounded was the beginning of something new. End